please welcome to the stage Patricia Fripp.
The email said, "Dear Patricia, may I interview you for my blog? I don't know about you, but I am a very short-term project person involved in a long-term project creating my virtual training, doing my very best to eliminate distractions. I was about to send an email saying I'd love to be interviewed. I'm very busy. Contact me in 3 months," until I checked his website. Now you know I am incredibly shallow. I picked up the phone and said, "What is an Emmy Award-winning TV interviewer and game show host doing being one of my fans?" After a 30-minute interview, he said, "Patricia, this is great. But come on, tell me, what is the number one secret of giving a powerful presentation?" I said, "Oh, there's no one secret." And then it hit me. A brand new Frippicism was about to fall flawlessly from my lips. I said, "Although there is no one secret, if there were, it would be that your subject is of interest to your audience." Speaking at CAP, speaking at the National Speakers Association is cheating, because we know you are interested in our subjects, you have inconvenienced yourself, you've paid your hard-earned cash, and you're here. In real life, we are sent to train people to fix them, and they might not really feel they need to learn what we're teaching. We are on a convention program, and the attendees would be there whether we had filled that slot or not. So how do we look at ways we can make our subject of interest to our audience? Welcome to Under the Magnifying Glass, Good to Great Presentations. So one, we have to look at how do we connect with them. One, consider yourself an audience advocate. When you look at your content, look at it from the point of view of the people listening. One great way to connect is to look at how can we open our presentations to grab their attention immediately. And you have seen magnificent demonstrations of how to immediately engage the interest of the audience from all your speakers. And we all know our stories make a big impact. What are a couple ways we could make them even better? First, if you want to connect to your audience, you have to understand a very simple principle. They are much more interested in themselves than they are in you. And one way you can prove that you are interested in them and that this message is designed just for them is to use you-focused language. And it doesn't matter how seasoned we are, many great speakers make this mistake. I would challenge you to watch the I versus you balance in your presentation. May we have sound from my co-presenter?
I get a chance to give something back. My challenge is the shortest seminar I usually do is 50 hours. And I'm not exaggerating. I do weekends, and what I do more than that, obviously, coach people, but I'm into immersion. Because how'd you learn language? You didn't learn it by just learning principles. You got in it, and you did it so often that it became real. And the bottom line of why I'm here, besides being crazy mofo, is that I'm really in a position, I'm not here to motivate you, obviously. You don't need that. And a lot of times, that's what people think I do, and it's the furthest thing from it. What happens, though, is people say to me, "Well, I don't need any motivation." And I say, "Well, that's interesting. That's not what I do. I'm the why guy. I don't know why you do what you do. What is your motive for action? What is it that drives you in your life today, not 10 years ago, or are you running the same pattern? Because I believe that the invisible force of internal drive activated is the most important thing in the world. I'm here because I believe emotion is the force of life. All of us here have great minds. You know, most of us here have great minds, right? I don't know if I'm in the category, but we all know how to think. And with our minds, we can rationalize anything, we can make anything happen.
In all fairness, you could take anyone's 1 minute of the opening of their presentation and find ways to improve it. However, let us all realize that when you are comfortable in one format, 50 hours, if you are going to present in 15 minutes, or 13 minutes, or 18 minutes, which you have for a TED Talk, you have to construct your presentation differently. And obviously, I am not Tony's speech coach. However, if I were, I might suggest, looking at that opening, that perhaps he would be well served to say, why do you do what you do? What is your motive for action? What drives you now, not 10 years ago? And based on 30 years of human development and personal peak performance, it becomes very clear. It all starts with emotion. Same content, no eyes. One of my good friends is a sales manager of the Fairmont Hotel. And he called and said, Fripp, help! As you know, I'm a great salesperson one-on-one. However, I have to deliver a presentation to a group of people who are considering bringing their convention to San Francisco, and I'm really nervous. I asked him the questions we should all ask ourselves. Simply, who are you addressing? Convention committee. How long do you have to speak? 8 minutes. What are you selling? He said, well, I'm really not selling the Fairmont Hotel because if they come to San Francisco, they're definitely coming here. But they're seriously considering San Diego. Now, you never knock your competition, but what you have to do is position what you're offering to sound more appealing. And then a question that I find many sales professionals overlook. I said, how much is it worth to the Fairmont Hotel if you get the business? He said, $500,000. I said, let me get this right. You have 8 minutes to make $500,000. Do you realize that is $1,066? No, $1,041.66, even when you pause. How had you intended opening? He said, well, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate that you're here and that you're staying at the hotel, and we hope you have a wonderful experience. And I said, look, you're being polite, but you've wasted $20,000 and you haven't said anything. Why don't you say this? Welcome to the Fairmont Hotel. Thank you for your consideration. In the next 8 minutes, you will decide the best decision you can make for your association and your members is to bring your convention to San Francisco and the Fairmont Hotel. That is 7 you or yours, 2 Fairmonts. That is a great you-focused, emotional, connecting focus on the audience opening. Then, San Diego is a magnificent destination, and you should go there another year. However, the reasons you should come to San Francisco this year are now give specifics, logical reasons, the words and the examples that this convention committee can go back to their association staff and tell to their members why we chose this location for this convention. And then imagine you will experience 535 of our Fairmont associates looking after your attendees. And then imagine years from now, when your attendees are sitting around a convention lobby reminiscing about the best conventions they ever attended, and they remember their favorite in San Francisco, when you were the planning committee. Obviously, he made the sale.